Warning, you are entering a redneck area. You may encounter American flags, armed citizens, the Lord's Prayer, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and country music. Enter at your own risk. Please subscribe, like, and share.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for all the latest updates and news coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Join us every Saturday night, now broadcasting live from our affiliates in the following cities: Nashville, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Charleston, Pensacola, Panama City, St. Louis, and Jacksonville. Upchurch Street Team Radio is a Richard Danus production. Please subscribe, like, and share.
Well, hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Live, coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee.
Jennifer Danus.
Also, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California tonight, I'm Richard Danus, and we have Pookie D.
And Charleston.
Charleston, hold on one second here, I gotta still... So, how you guys doing out there?
Doing great. Awesome. Fantastic.
Fantastic. All right, we got a cool show for you guys tonight. Let's see here. We've got, as you can see by the title, lots of interesting things going on. And so real quick, just want to let you guys know that we are now broadcasting from 9 different cities, hosting the show from 3 different cities right now. I'll run you through those real fast so you guys know. We are now broadcasting from Nashville, Tennessee, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Charleston, Pensacola, Panama City, St. Louis, and Jacksonville. That's cool, huh?
All over the place.
Yeah.
All over. And so there's 3 of us tonight. Bubba D, again, is not with us this weekend. He'll be with us real shortly, though. So, you're looking at, look at the picture there. We're talking about George Floyd. Did you know that George was a rapper?
I did not.
Not until recently.
Okay. So
Because everything that you've been hearing about him is just the last few minutes of his life, not anything about who he was as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out he was a rapper and you know a pretty good one.
We're going to play just a teeny little bit of him rapping, actually. And it's been very unfortunate what has happened over the last 2 weeks, especially this tragic the death of this man. It's just hit the world. It's impacted the world in so many different ways, and it's very sad. That's for sure. So let's see here. Tell us a little bit about that, about Floyd and his rapping.
So he was known as Big Floyd, as anyone in his genre would know. His name was Big Floyd. He was a talented rapper who was part of the highly influential Houston-based Screwed Up Click crew of the 1990s.
And he was a big guy.
Yeah, yes. He was 6.5 feet tall.
Wow.
The Gentle Giant.
Okay, go ahead. A little bit more.
So he was an affiliate of the Screwed Up Click, and his voice appeared on cult classic mixtapes helmed by the legendary DJ Screw. As the inventor of chopped and screwed, which is a technique of slowing down a record's sonics until the vocals and production sound like they have been dragged through molasses. The late DJ Screw, who himself died in 2000, created a sonic blueprint impacting the charts to this day. DJ Screw was just 29 when he was reportedly discovered dead from an accidental codeine overdose at his Houston recording studio. And he might not be all that well known to the general public, but he's still regarded as a legendary figure in the hip-hop community. And George Floyd's connection to the Screwed Up Clique made him a hip-hop hero, especially in Houston.
So George Floyd has done a little bit of recording as a rapper. And coming up here in just a minute, we're going to play just a little teeny piece of the song, one of the songs that he's in. Have you ever heard of him before this, as a rapper or anything like that?
No, this is a first for me, so I'm intrigued.
And myself also. Okay, and then go on a little bit more. What else you got there?
So most people have not heard him rap, but that's beginning to change as fans begin to circulate the Screwed Up Clique tracks that feature him on the microphone. And as you mentioned, there are a couple that we're going to play. There are a lot of expletives and drug and sex references, but I don't believe in the portion that you're going to play has that.
Oh yeah, there's some F-bombs and.
Okay, well, yeah, we listened to more of it, but so the one track that you're going to play is titled "So Tired of Ballin'," in which Big Floyd enters around in the 14-minute mark. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where you're going to jump into it. Mm-hmm. And you'll hear DJ Screw introducing him with "Come on, Big Floyd," and that's when he starts. And his style was what he liked to talk about when he rapped was things that he wanted to obtain in life: a mansion for his mother, not being worried about bills, and regularly eating 4-course meals at fancy restaurants. Sounds
like he just had the all-American dreams.
Yeah, and in fact, he grew up in Houston in the 3rd Ward, and he had some trouble with the law, but he ended up moving to.
Okay, I'm going to play a little bit here. So while you figure out that there, let's take a listen to Floyd or George Floyd rapping here. You guys ready for this? Also, today was his memorial.
Yes.
And I saw a little bit of that on TV. Mm-hmm. And a nice big gold, beautiful casket, and a lot of people there and what have you. And so anyway, here we go. Let's take a listen to this man do a little bit of rapping.
Nigga standing on his own, on his fucking throne and his own. Come on, Big Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Boys, drunk up in here. That hungry. Going down LB. You know what I'm saying? The boys drunk up in here from the action, baby. You know what I'm saying? That legs, that slow, that's what I'm talking about. 9-7. We fucking with Screw Zoo. Hey, LB. Fresh home from school, it's Big Floyd Holland. Home for the week and then I flip back to college. Gotta make boys straight feel me. Down at the college, coaches like me cause my skills is.
All right, there we go. There's a little bit of him rapping. It's such a shame what happened to him, of course.
Well, yeah, and he ended up moving to Minneapolis to try and make a change in his life. He had spent some time in prison, and when he got out, he moved to Minneapolis to kind of start over and start fresh. And it is such a shame that that everything kind of came down as it did.
Yeah. It's changed, it's changed his life, and now his death has changed the world.
Oh, absolutely. There's no questioning that.
I'm sure the man never thought that he would be a person, an individual that would actually have such an effect on the rest of the world, and especially our country, but the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm. All over the world. Other countries are joining in with all these protests and support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then also, it has affected so many of us his death has affected so many of us in so many ways, because it went from mourning the death of another human being, which when I saw that video, of him being...
I couldn't even watch it the whole way through.
Oh,
I couldn't.
Yeah, I actually started to get a tear in my eye, because I just can't believe that anybody, especially those other officers that were just standing there picking their noses, and they just stood there. And today, I understand that there's now new laws going into effect that if a police officer sees another police officer doing something like that,
they're obligated to
now
step up and stop it. Yeah,
it should have been that way in the first place.
I agree. That's what's blowing everyone away, is that there were other officers present.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As of now, all 4 have been charged with murder.
Now, what degrees were they? Does it say there?
The main person that actually had his knee on his throat was moved to 2nd-degree murder.
Mm-hmm. And then what about?
And then the other ones, let's see. It doesn't really say, other than they're being charged with homicide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the way a lot of people feel that that's absolutely justifiable. Now, how has it changed the rest of the world in other ways? Because not only is the world mourning this man's death, now because of these riots and the protest, which started off and should have stayed that way as a peaceful protest. Now, all the crap started, and all of the who's came out and turned it into much more than mourning some man's death. These people were destroying our country, dismantling it.
Yeah, which is
robbing it.
It's just awful, because they're hurting the communities, the people in the community that support the communities. That's not what it's supposed to be about. Mm-hmm. What the protests are supposed to be about is to bring awareness to this type of situation, mm-hmm. and it has. But then, of course, like you said, along come the other people who want to just take opportunity to trash everything and break everything and destroy businesses of people that have worked so hard from the ground up.
Mm-hmm. And we are not a political show. We don't get into politics. This is not a show for politics. But I've noticed some other stuff going on that has got me a little bit concerned, and some other people too. I have, believe it or not, I have witnessed and watched, I don't know, maybe 10 different people in the last week or so utterly, literally commit career suicide. Now, I'm not going to bring up any names at all whatsoever, but I've been watching, on the internet, of course, like everybody else, and I'm watching this rap war has begun.
Well, I mean, everything is so outrageous that has happened. It's so hard to stay silent and not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
I understand that.
Yeah,
right.
But once you put them words out there, you can't take them back.
And what a lot of people don't realize when they're trying to put their opinion out there is that when you're a celebrity,
or in the public eye, period.
Yeah, you're putting out your opinion, and not everyone is going to agree with that. And along come the people that disagree, and it comes in all different levels. Yeah, and up to the the haters, the people that just want to. Yeah, just simply because you have a different opinion.
Uh-huh.
And we've seen the history of celebrities that have that have lost so many followers when they've put out their political views.
Mm-hmm. Now, here in Los Angeles, there are tons and tons of celebrities that are, Trump supporters, conservatives and what have you, but you know what? They won't say a dang word about it. They will not admit it. They won't talk about it. They won't put it out there at all whatsoever, because they know what comes along with that later on down the line. And in California, this is where the those guys in the black suits, what do they call them? The Antifa guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very heavy here in California, and lots of them, and they are vicious. I mean, vicious. They will go after a celebrity in a heartbeat to use his name to destroy him. I mean, just totally dismantle somebody's entire frigging life, their careers, everything they stand for, their image, their name, their everything. They'll just destroy it because they have no boundaries.
Right.
It doesn't affect them.
I'm sorry?
It doesn't affect them. It doesn't matter how hard you work to get somewhere. They don't care. Your opinion doesn't match. They're going to take you down.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of American voters say that they oppose celebrities getting into the political arena. You know, their celebrities, they're the musicians and the actresses and actors and such. Is kind of supposed to be like a safe zone where you can escape everything and watch and enjoy and be entertained. And then when they step into the political arena and start saying stuff, it
takes away the illusion of who the person may or may not be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it really is, because you can look at somebody and think they're wonderful and they think like you do, and then when they open their mouth, everything changes.
Yeah, and it changes forever. And it can never, it never goes back.
Yeah, the public does not forgive easily.
And once you make that move, you're stuck with it for the rest of your life, the rest of your career. You are now such and such. I've seen celebrities in the movie industry just recently get drug into other projects and other movies and other scenarios and other relationships that are going to end up biting them in the butt later on, and they don't realize that yet, because what happens is you realize, wow, check it out, I got a voice. There's millions of people out there that know who I am. They know my face. They know my voice. They know who I am. They know what I stand for and all that stuff. And they just wake up one day and go, shit, I'm pissed off, and I'm gonna voice my opinion, and everybody's gonna love it because they love me.
No.
And then an hour later, after they get on the microphone or the television interview that they do to promote their new movie, they voice in there, and also, and there it goes.
And then 2 days later, they come back on to apologize and say they didn't mean it.
Yeah,
right.
Look, Shania Twain, retract. She had to retract something she said. Dolly Parton, same thing with Dolly Parton.
Dixie Chicks.
Taylor Swift.
On the rap side right now.
Actresses Alyssa Milano.
Right, yeah. On the what? Rap
right now, they are tearing Lil Wayne apart just by one comment. All he said was, don't blame the entire police force. And they are ripping him apart.
Mm-hmm. Which will continue. Mm-hmm. It'll never stop. So I'm now hearing about that there are TV shows that are going to be discontinued now because of what somebody said that has a television show. Mm-hmm. I heard that people being pulled out of projects and replaced with other people because of some things, their views of what they said, what have you.
And they can take anyone out of anything, like the show Roseanne. Who'd have thought they could do Roseanne without Roseanne?
Without Roseanne. What the hell?
But you know what?
They did it.
They did it.
Unbelievable, huh? See, that's the thing. And just because I'm from California, believe me, folks, listen up here. This is very important. Just because I'm from California, there's a reason why I don't live here full time. It's because I like to be free also, and that's why we live part time in Tennessee. Land of the free, and in here in Hollywood and Los Angeles in the movie business and what have you, you don't tell people how you vote or any of that crap. You just you keep it to yourself. You go into the voting booth and you hide and you vote, and then you come out. You don't say a damn word because you know what'll end up happening. So now here's what I'm concerned about right now. It says, notice in the title here, it says the beginning of the end. I see careers at this very moment are being destroyed. This is the beginning phase of what will take place in a lot of people's careers because of their opinions and, and they speak, and with all the best intentions too. They have all the best intentions of speaking up and what have you. And then, then the crazy nutsoids come out. And the idiots come out, and the stalkers come out, the haters come out, and the protesters come out, and they're all vicious. And the next thing you know, you've got a career just loaded with attacks, non-stop attacks. I'm seeing it here in Los Angeles right now in the movie industry. Actors and actresses just getting bombarded right now because of their opinions about this situation and the George Floyd thing. And, and they're taking it all the way back in the years to Rodney King and all the other people. One thing that's kind of disturbing me just a little bit, there's other people that have been affected, their lives have been affected people have died in the last week. Several police officers have been shot.
Yes.
And killed. There was a man. I saw an older man that was like 73 years old or whatever like that. And the police pushed him, and he fell backwards on the ground and busted his head open. And then another one. God, and just several people have been shot dead. There was a police officer that was guarding the federal building in I don't remember what city. He was shot in the head. He's dead. So many things have come from this. And now we're looking at rap wars. So our rappers now are being divided. Even the country rappers here, are now being divided. Didn't you have something on that, Pookie, there about that? The rap wars and names of some people that there's something going on with let's see, Adam Calhoun and
oh yes, Adam Calhoun and Yellow Wolf. Mm-hmm. They had issues in which we've all seen where he took out an artist and completely replaced an artist within a 24-hour period over all of this protest things. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, there's the whole attack on Lil Wayne, and there's attacks on basically anyone who opens their mouth if nobody agrees. I mean, all of them.
I just don't believe that politics belong in.
Well, it's so hard though. In politics is what you're going to say, but it's so hard though because younger generations are so immersed in the music scene that's why politicians are grabbing onto these artists to try and sway the vote. And
we all know that there's the fake news channels, which I'll speak up and say CNN, you suck. Fake news for sure. But I'm concerned about these rap wars, these rapper wars of now being divided and fighting against each other. It is the beginning. Mark my words when I tell you this. This is the beginning of the end for so many careers, whether it be music, whether it be on television, movies, political careers. This country has lost its friggin' mind. And it just drives me kind of crazy.
All the people there was a person here in South Carolina, a 19-year-old man that was arrested for carrying a gun with 70 rounds of ammunition. 50 people in South Carolina have been arrested just within the last 2 days for protesting and looting. But that also goes back to what y'all mentioned as far as people that are using the protest as a reason to break the law. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to continue on here, guys, but I want to bring you to this attention here. There is a really cool website that you guys need to check out. It's called Redneck Nation. That's right. Redneck Nation. I think Ryan Upchurch knows a little bit about this particular website. You can find all kinds of things on there. You can find hats, pop-ups, t-shirts, hoodies, even Trump gear, stickers, flags, Confederate camo, camouflage shirts, camouflage pants, camouflage women. No, that's not true. I don't think you can do. Let's see, Redneck Nation girls. Oh, you see, you can. You can buy Redneck Nation girls there too. It says. Let's see, hot sauce. You can check it out, man. You can buy friggin' hot sauce over there. License plates, dog tags, Rebel blankets and towels, glasses, straps, music, bands, accessories, all kinds of stuff. All you got to do is go to rednecknation.com. And tell them that we sent you over there, and say, look, man, I should get a little discount because you're a loyal follower. So, okay, so now, how do you guys feel about this rap war that's going on here? Anybody got any ideas? How you feel?
It's kind of scary as far as what would they do next. You know, there's been many situations where a rap war has gotten crazy and people die.
What was it that I don't know too much about the hip hop community in Las Vegas, but when the North Coast or no East Coast against the West Coast, record label wars and all that stuff was going on and what have you. Look at all the stuff that came out of that. Tupac shot in the streets of Las Vegas. You know, in front of the whole world over stuff like this, and of course it all breaks down and gets down to politics.
He said, she said, who said what?
I hate politics. I really do. And because this is what it does to so many people. This is what it does to so many careers. And you know, I support myself personally. I support people speaking out with their beliefs. And standing up. I just think that there's different platforms for that, and I just think that you just need to pick the right platform to do it on and you do it in a certain way and what have you. Las Vegas I was just talking with somebody that lives in Las Vegas. I think it was today. Yeah. And, they started marching down the Las Vegas Strip, the boulevard. And they got stopped a little bit, probably about middle way through the strip itself. But they were trying to do, a bunch of bad stuff, and the cops stopped them right away. Thank God, because those casinos, oh man.
Hey Jennifer, in Nashville, wasn't there courthouses being burned and?
Oh yeah, I mean with all the riots that have been going on around the country. Last weekend was a riot in downtown Broadway, and it was supposed to start out as a protest, a peaceful protest, and it got out of hand with people breaking windows of the businesses on Broadway, looting, stealing, and they set the courthouse on fire. I mean, there were flames shooting out the bottom windows.
You sent me pictures, and there were boards
and graffiti,
and they had literally attacked the courthouse. Tons of graffiti on the front of the courthouse.
I went down there the day after, and there were 30 businesses that were boarded up that had been vandalized. And they had a fence around the courthouse with boards on the windows there. Graffiti they still hadn't cleaned off, of course, but there were crews out trying to repair the businesses that had been broken into the night before. I mean, it was just out of control.
Hard Rock Cafe. And this was all going on while Kid Rock's club is rocking out.
Well, I don't know exactly.
Well, can you blame them? They did just open up Broadway.
Yeah, they did. I know, and that was the other thing, is that these businesses were hit hard by the virus and being shut down, and they were just opening back up, and then this happened, and now they're having to, they're reeling from the destruction that happened from these riots, which should not have ever happened in the first place, in my opinion. I'm fully behind, protests, and people being able to speak their mind and show support for a cause. But when you take the opportunity and just vandalize for no reason, for no rhyme or reason, it's wrong.
People they had nothing to do with the protest. Their businesses are ruined, destroyed, looted, completely looted out. I mean, it's sad. And this is what I see happening in the rap world right now, from watching what's been going on for the last week and witnessing some of these rappers just going off on each other and disrespecting each other and dissing each other. I wonder if a lot of these guys are young. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am a seasoned, older, seasoned showbiz businessman, and I know this business really, really well. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to say it again. This is the beginning of the end of careers because of this stuff, and this division that's going on, this divisive type of scenarios that are being taken place with these rappers and what have you. It's all by design. This is not a coincidental type of thing that happens. There's a reason why the Antifa guys come out when this stuff kind of happens. It's because, and I know just a teeny little, not too much about this stuff, but from what I've gathered, they take advantage of situations like this so that they can turn it on higher, harder. So that they can, they do stuff like stand behind a innocent, peaceful protester, stand behind them and take a brick and throw it at a cop.
Right.
And then turn around and run.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're giving the protests a bad name and misrepresenting what the people are out there, in the first place for. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is done by design. These are people that spend many hours and weeks, months, years planning and strategizing of how to take advantage of the next opportunity to cause violence and damage and and all that stuff. Politicians are just nasty mean.
You mentioned things they're throwing at the police officers. They've actually taken photos in Minneapolis and posted them. Rocks, bricks, glass bottles, cans. They've even thrown canned vegetables at the police officers.
Oh, I saw them throwing urine, bottles of urine and balloons full of feces.
That is disgusting.
At the police officers and at the National Guard. And then I saw this lady, the mayor of Washington, D.C. Did you see what she did to the street there? What she had painted? She had leading up to the friggin' Capitol.
No, what?
In letters as tall as a 3-story building and as wide as a 2-story building. Black Lives Matter, huge letters all the way up the street, right up into the Capitol building in big, giant gold letters. And so, here's all lives matter.
All lives matter.
Every human being's life matters, period. And it's just really sad to see all this stuff going on. And I'm really, really sad to see the rappers and the movie stars and the television stars and turning on each other now.
They're all getting sucked into the mainstream.
That's because it's by design. This is not on accident. This is something that that people plan on, and mark my words again, this is just the beginning of the attacks. My predictions that I have over the next year are not good. I don't even want to say them on a show. They're so bad. Because I don't want anybody here and go, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And oh man, jeez.
Yeah, no fuel in the fire. So Richard, I have a question. Have you ever ate a banana and mayonnaise sandwich?
Hell no. What the hell kind of question is that?
Well, I was doing a little research on George Floyd, and apparently that was his favorite.
Oh my God.
Every day, banana and mayonnaise sandwich.
We just had this fabulous dinner a little while ago. before the show, and my stomach just now turned on me and went. You know, I mean, I'm into the Elvis thing.
I've heard of peanut butter and mayonnaise. I mean, no.
God.
Sorry.
Banana and mayonnaise.
Bananas
Peanut
and
butter.
mayonnaise. Peanut butter and banana is pretty
yes,
good.
yes.
Not until you
With
try
bacon.
it. I mean, there
With-
might be
with
something.
bacon.
With bacon?
Oh, Elvis Presley special, man. Peanut butter with fried bananas and bacon, all in this toast. Greasy, nice buttered up friggin' Tennessee style toast.
How do you fry a banana? Do you cut it up like fried potatoes?
You literally cut it, thin stripes, set it, put it in the grease and fry that baby up, and it's delicious. I've had a I called it
you've had a heart attack,
I've had the heart attack on a plate. Even Elvis Presley will back that one up, that's for sure. So that was George Floyd's kind of favorite sandwich or something.
Apparently, it was when you saw him, you saw the sandwich, and you.
Wow.
To each their own.
Yeah. Okay. No. You know what we're going to do though on the show sometime? We're going to do a redneck rapper cook-off on the show. That's kind of cool. We'll do that sometime. What do you think of that?
So we'll
Sounds
be eating lots of
interesting and
barbecue.
Maybe delicious. I don't know.
Oh, here it is. I'll tell you what you do. You just pile a ton of bacon.
Okay, I'm there.
See? It's that easy. It's that easy to get people in on this one. Tons of bacon. Lots of scrambled eggs. Some salsa, some green salsa, some really hot, melt in your mouth,
I don't think that's redneck.
fire in your butt jalapenos. You know, the kind that makes you go, it hurts so good. Come on, baby. Make it hurt so good. Oh boy. No, why? So no. Oh, I've never eaten mayonnaise and
Bananas.
oh golly. So how do you think that what do you see in the future, ladies, for the rap industry, for an example? Because
music is always evolving. I mean, it's going to change. It's going to evolve. It's going to, blend with something else. And I mean, I think it's too hard now to remove artists and public figures from politics now, especially with social media, where
it's easy as hell.
Easy for someone to just get right on there in 1 second to say something before they have thought it through. I think that's just going to be too hard to separate. And I mean, rap, in itself talks about social issues and such, which are political in themselves. And that's what draws a lot of politicians to either use rap, to in their message, or to turn away from rap and make the mistake of saying it's an embarrassment to American society. So even the politicians are stepping on their toes, when they talk about certain genres of music. So now, I don't think you can separate it, though.
Notice, as we've been talking about this, we're very careful about the politics stuff, because I just can't friggin' stand politics. And I don't like to get involved in it. I mean, it's so destructive in so many ways. Now, the other day, I go ahead.
Oh, well, I came across something that the Washington Post actually wrote an article, "The Politician's Guide on How to Be Down with Hip Hop."
What? Okay, go ahead. We want to hear this one.
Well, I haven't read the article itself, but it says it draws reference to the use of hip hop in culture, or of hip hop culture in politics, and the criticism of hip hop that was considered patriotic or even moral one generation ago can make a politician now seem out of touch, especially with the younger voters. So even voters, if they are trying to entice artists into their camp to try and get more votes, have to be very careful about who they insult and who they use and everything like that.
You can't even voice your own opinion anymore nowadays. No. in anything at all whatsoever.
No, and I blame social media for that, because people can get on there and say whatever they want
Every
and
Tom,
not be
Dick, and
held
Harry.
accountable. Yeah, and not be held accountable for what they say. And they say it behind
You know what I call those people?
invisible wall, if so to speak.
Keyboard wussy warriors.
I mean, but that's what, there are so many out there, because they can get on there and type whatever they want. And I mean, I've seen this as soon as, this was like decades ago, as soon as people were allowed to put comments on news articles and such, you had, really heartrending news articles, and there were people that were disrespecting the subject of the news article. I mean, people, but they weren't held accountable. They'd go on as a fake name, and say whatever they wanted, and then disappear and go somewhere else, not really even caring, whose lives they just hurt.
Yeah, it's called a political hit and run.
Right, exactly.
And they're awful, and people like you're discussing, they don't care what they have to say, as far as, like she said, if they hurt your feelings. Or
yeah, they just move on to the next.
Right. They're talking about people's careers, people's lives, people's families. That's somebody's child, somebody's brother, sister, something. People don't care anymore. It's what they can do and who they can take down and how far they can get their name out there for being disrespectful.
Yeah. And go ahead.
So, I mean, in knowing all of this and how social media has changed our culture, artists have to keep that in mind and be very careful about getting on instantaneously and spewing out what they think without thinking of how people are going to take it and how it can hurt their futures, their careers, and their following, their fans, and everything.
We watched an artist the other day on YouTube talking about how Trump should shut down the internet just to get rid of these clowns and what have you. That's not going to happen. Of course, it can't happen. Social media is
can't control the internet.
You can't control the internet. Nobody can really. Well, you can to a degree, but not much. And President Trump, of course, doesn't have the power, the authority, and the power to do something like that. It's a shame, actually. The president doesn't have as much. You grow up thinking that the president is the baddest mofo on the planet. He's the lawyer.
It's just part of the gears.
He's just the lawyer and the spokesman for the bad mofos that are sitting somewhere in Colombia smoking a doobie and and having a penis colada. And yeah, it's a penis colada. And can I say that on YouTube? Okay, I'm sorry, YouTube. Pina penis colada. It's a penis colada with a big fat friggin' blunt dipped into it, and they're sitting back there running the show, and poor president of our country has to sit there and be the middleman spokesman,
taking the blame for everything.
Yeah, takes the blame for everything. And
yeah.
it doesn't matter what side you're on. It doesn't matter if you're independent, Republican, Democrat. Does not matter at all whatsoever. The president always gets the shaft. No matter who, no matter what, it just doesn't matter. And and what's your views, Mrs. Danus, on the rap wars that are going on right now? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, part of it is business. I think part of it is just goes with the industry. You have. Even in the rock and roll world, you had partnerships break up and new alliances made and everything. And what do songwriters do? They write about their life experiences, and so that's coming out in these rap wars and the rappers dissing each other. That's just.
But that's dividing.
It's
dividing the rappers.
Well, but like I said, but then new alliances are formed and new fan groups go together, and then that's going to split up. It's just ever changing, evolving. I just think it's part of the industry.
It's part of today's world, and social media has changed everything.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean everything.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. I have a nickname for him, but I won't say it. But Zuckerberg must sit every night and laugh his ass off at how much control he has over this entire friggin' planet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys in the bush sitting somewhere in some country right now that can't afford a piece of chicken. But they got their cell phone with them, and it's on, and they're on Facebook.
Oh, my. Could you imagine if he just flipped a switch and Facebook didn't work for 24 hours?
Okay. Well, on that note...
Speaking of apocalypse.
Go ahead. What?
That's what...
You're saying that's what it would be?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on a second. We'll be right back, guys.
Redneck area. You may encounter American flags, armed citizens, the Lord's Prayer, Leonard Skinner, and country music. Enter at your own risk. Please subscribe, like, and share.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for all the latest updates and news coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Join us every Saturday night, now broadcasting live from our affiliates in the following cities: Nashville, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Charleston, Pensacola, Panama City, St. Louis, and Jacksonville. Upchurch Street Team Radio is a Richard Danus production.
All right, guys, don't
Please subscribe, like, and share.
Don't forget to go over to that website we were talking about here just a few minutes ago. Guys, rednecknation.com, where you can go over there and buy all kinds of fun stuff. T-shirts, brands, hoodies, hats, Trump gear, stickers, flags, Confederate flags. It says here you can buy Redneck Nation girls. Actually, it's just a heading, but I like saying that. It's kind of cool to say, check it out. You can buy Redneck Nation girls over there, too. Let's see, boards and shirts and shorts and face masks and video packages. Let's see, all kinds of stuff. Upchurch apparel. That's kind of cool. Let's see here. So then the other thing that I was curious about here real fast. Yeah, 1 second here, guys and folks. And how far is this going to go in the rap world? How far down the road is this going to cool off, do you think? Are people going to cool off and get back to what used to be the norm? Or are we just going to continue to be divisive and dividing the rappers out there now and having this East Coast, West Coast kind of mentality in the country hip hop world now? I
mean, life in general, everything happens in cycles. Everything ebbs and flows. And so right now, everybody's, on the high tide of all of this, all of the protests and everything, and rap and discord and everything. And then it'll kind of ease back and everything. But then it'll, something will spark it again. It's a never ending cycle.
Sadly, the new generation kind of thrives on drama. Everything's drama. So like she said, it'll go down and then it'll fluctuate right back up to something else.
It'll be something new. Another way of attacking people that don't believe what you want to believe. I can't understand why some people out there in the world just can't simply go, look, you have the right to believe what you want. I have the right to believe what I want, and we don't have to agree on everything, but that doesn't mean that we have...
And I'm not going to try to make you believe what I believe.
Yeah, or try to destroy you because you don't. That's, just really sad. And like I said, it's disturbing and it's upsetting to see all of these people that over a period of time that used to be really good friends and worked with each other and did all kinds of stuff with each other. Now they're just banging each other's heads off, basically.
Yeah, and literally shooting each other.
Instagram has no good news at all whatsoever that I saw. And I was looking at it earlier today. And let me see here. Let's see. Here is Hoser 765. I'm not a half-ass kind of person. That's why why everything I do is big. Let's see here. In the sensitive stuff, they're even right now. Instagram is censoring certain things because people are just out there saying things that are really, really bad. Yeah, not good at all. And I'm just it just hurts to see everybody out there having such a hard time and following to this crud. Oh, look at that. That doesn't look too fun. An alligator with some woman hanging out of it there.
That's not good.
That's not good. So musicians all over the world, rappers all over the world, movie stars, television stars, sitcom stars, all voicing their opinions and what have you, and really out there pushing super hard. Snoop Dogg has been very, very active, putting stuff out on his page, that's for sure, on Instagram. Let's see here if there's anything else that I wanted to see here. But Snoop Dogg's been very vocal for many years.
Oh, yeah. He's always been one of the lead dogs on top.
You got anything there? What do you got?
Well, I just, when we wind down, I wanted to read an article about George Floyd. It's entitled, George Floyd, I'm Going to Change the World. And so you let me know when we're going to do that, and I'll read that because I think it would be a nice way to close this show.
Actually, we got about 7 minutes left, so if you'd like to go ahead and do that, that'd be fine right now.
Okay. So this article entitled George Floyd, I'm Going to Change the World. It says George Floyd is coming home on Tuesday to be with his mother, Sissy, his biggest fan, the center of his world. Floyd missed her last breaths 2 years ago while he was living in Minneapolis trying to get a fresh start. Her name is tattooed on his torso. On Tuesday, after the procession winds through Houston, he will come to rest in Houston Memorial Gardens in Pearland, the same cemetery as his mother. It is a heartbreaking homecoming for friends and family who describe Floyd as a dreamer who wanted desperately to be in the NBA. In fact, I was reading earlier that he was big in basketball in high school because he was so tall. He wanted desperately to be in NBA, to make it big, to forge a new life away from the poverty and the violence. And despite his successes, becoming the first of his siblings to graduate high school and go to college, there were setbacks, arrests, and in the end, a death that galvanized protests across the globe. He became the catalyst for a pivotal moment in civil rights history. The day a black man was fatally pinned beneath the knee of a white police officer. His plight recast on millions of screens around the world. Every living U.S. president, the Dalai Lama, and the Pope spoke his name and condemned his death following an arrest for allegedly trying to spend a fake $20 bill.
Golly.
Everybody in the world knows who George Floyd is today, said Reginald Smith, Floyd's friend for more than 35 years. Presidents, kings, and queens, they know George Floyd. It goes on to talk about his early years. He was born in 1973 in Fayetteville, North Carolina, the third and last child of George Perry Floyd and Larcenia Jones Floyd. Floyd's father moved to New York. The couple, his mother and father, split up. His mother stayed with the children in a North Carolina trailer park, where she met the Houston native who became the father of her two youngest sons. Floyd's father was a nurse, but he spent much of his career as an R&B and jazz guitarist with the group Chocolate Buttermilk Band. The band played backup at concerts and clubs for Teddy Pendergrass, B.B. King, and James Brown. Floyd's sister said that they once had a gig at New York's Apollo Theater. Floyd Sr. died of an aneurysm in the early 2000s. Talks about his mother, known to everyone as Miss Sissy. She brought her children with her to meet her new boyfriend's parents in Houston, and they never left. His mother found an apartment and later settled in Cooney Homes, a low-rise public housing complex commemorating Norris Wright Cooney, an African-American politician during the Reconstruction in Texas who championed educational opportunities for blacks. Third Ward was rough, especially Cooney Homes, known as the Bricks, said James Coach Chuck Walker, who knew Floyd since childhood. It was beyond poverty, he said. Some days you didn't have food. We all grew up poor, said childhood friend Vaughn Dickerson, and Floyd's household was a little bit poorer than ours, but there was never a day when he let that affect his daily living. Floyd's mother flipped burgers at Gidry's, a fast food stand. Floyd and Dickerson often stopped by there on their school lunch break for a quick bite. But putting food on the family table was a challenge. They sometimes ate banana and mayonnaise sandwiches, like we talked about earlier. Floyd's younger brother remembered at his Minnesota funeral on Thursday. His mom's tiny home was a hub, a refuge for anyone who needed a place to stay, a shower, or a meal. She was calm and even-keeled, like her eldest son, said her next-door neighbor, Sheila Masters. And that's one other thing that I read was, and Pookie D mentioned it earlier, he was known as a gentle giant. He was a beautiful spirit. You know, even with his crime, his criminal history, he was a beautiful spirit.
Mm-hmm. Well... So, here's what what would be really, really nice to see right now is that everybody would wake up really fast and realize this is all by design. We are turning on each other. We're turning on our friends, our brothers, our sisters, our own family members, fellow Americans in so many different ways, and it's all by design. We can't fall for this stuff. People can't fall for this stuff. I don't want to see the country hip-hop and the country rap world be destroyed like this from within, all being done by ourselves. That's what I'd like to see change. All right, you guys, I'm Richard Danus from Los Angeles, California.
Jennifer Danus from Nashville, Tennessee.
I'm Pookie D from Charleston.
You guys all have a fantastic night. Thank you for joining us on the show. We will be back again next Saturday night. Please join us there again.
You are entering a redneck area. You may encounter American flags, armed citizens, the Lord's Prayer, Leonard Skinner, and country music. Enter at your own risk. Please subscribe, like, and share.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for all the latest updates and news coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Join us every Saturday night, now broadcasting live from our affiliates in the following cities: Nashville, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Charleston, Pensacola, Panama City, St. Louis, and Jacksonville. Upchurch Street Team Radio is a Richard Danus production. Please subscribe, like, and share.